Welcome inside the D Event Center for high school rewinds coverage of the 2015 5A Boys State Championship Basketball Tournament. I am Dusty Litzer. Thanks for joining us. We've got an outstanding matchup of Brighton and Hunter here in the second round. These are two teams. It's a rematch of the football season for the quarterfinals. These are two teams who are led by outstanding players. First, let's start with Hunter. Noah Tongyai and the Wolverines came back double digits with just over 6 minutes left in the opening round to get the win. Lead them to this point. Noah Tongyai going to go play football and basketball at Oregon State. He's an outstanding player for the Wolverines. As he goes, they go. And the same could be said for the Brighton Bengals. Brock Miller, who's going to play at Utah State. As he goes, the Bengals go. If he lights it up from the outside, it's a good day. And he has to be on point to get started in this game. In the opening round matchup, he really took it to American Fork to start the game and really set the pace for the Bengals. They'll have to do it again tonight. But you know our team's a couple things to look out for when we come back. It'll be opening tip-off. You are watching high school rewinds coverage of the 2015 5A Boys State Championship Basketball Tournament. It can be found anytime on Xfinity On Demand, live on live.ksl.com and deseretnews.com.
Jump circle, number 32, John Gramillion. Number 4, Noah Tongyai. Bengals, Wolverines, are you ready?
Opening tip, Gramillion and Tongyai will be controlled by Messina and the Bengals. Fahoko hands up top to Devashere, now outside to Osa Messina. Fahoko now inside. Tongyai, or pardon me, that was Messina off the mark. Tongyai now on the run. Leaves it behind. Nice find inside, and Fautea couldn't get to go. Gets his own board, goes back up, couldn't get it. And the rebound claimed by Devashere. Devashere leaves it for Fahoko, and Simi Fahoko lays it up and in. So down the floor we go with Hunter and Olsen Williams. Here's Lopez. Up top to Williams. Meidlinger hands off to Tongyai down the base, lost the handle, and picked up by Gramillion and slapped out of bounds by Tongyai, and will go with the Bengals. Building still has a little bit of a buzz from the Viewmont's stunning victory over Lone Peak as the 5A bracket seemingly, we thought it was open coming into it. Certainly wide open right now. Handoff Miller, pulls for three, back rim, and Meidlinger pulls it down. Here's Olsen Williams, up top to Noah Tongyai. Tongyai pull up from the free throw line, and it rolls off up by Fautea, couldn't get it. And rebound cleared by Gramillion, now on the push with Brock Miller. Miller to Messina. Devashere, now Fahoko. Outside, Osa Messina. Lob down to Fahoko, gets it back. Brock Miller again. On the angle, Devashere drop it in. Gramillion gives it to Devashere on the give and go. And a foul to Fautea. And it'll be two free throws for Devashere.
Foul on number 30, Lorenzo Fautea. His first. It's the first Wolverine team foul. At the line, number 14, Derek Devashere.
Devashere hits the first. Devashere hits both free throws, and it's 4-0 Brighton. Outside with Tongyai up top, Williams. Outside, Meidlinger. Meidlinger up top to Williams. Tongyai down the lane, float up and score it. Took a lot of contact, no call. And first points for Hunter come from Tongyai. Messina hands off to Fehoko. Now Miller being hounded by Olsen Williams. Miller put on the floor, floated up, and score it. The foul will go to Olsen Williams, and it'll be Brock Miller with the +1.
Foul charge number 1, Olsen Williams, his first, second team foul.
And Miller hits the +1 free throw. 7-2 the lead to the Bengals. Up the floor now, Tongyai. Near side with Olsen Williams. Give it up down the lane. Tongyai lost the handle going up. And they're going to say out of bounds, no foul call. And down the floor with the Bengals. Up the floor, Devashere. Outside to Miller. Pulls for 3. Back rimmed, and the rebound taken by Gramillion. He'll go back up with it, and it crawls off. Rebound taken by Meidlinger. On the push now, Tongyai. He'll slow it down. Pull up at the junction, and Noah Tongyai with 4 points here in the first quarter. Devashere inside to Gramillion, and Gramillion with his first points. Back down the floor with Tongyai up top to Williams. Tipped up by Fehoko. Saved to Miller. Miller on the push. It's 1-on-2. Fake the pass around. Williams couldn't get it to go. And Devashere with the loose ball. Miller along the baseline, had a slap away from behind by Williams, and it'll be Brighton ball underneath.
Substitution for the Wolverines, number 5, Jake Harrell.
Inbound to Gramillion, and he couldn't get the bunny to go. You never see Gramillion miss those. Back down the floor with the Wolverines. Tongyai going out for Hoko, and he took a lot of steps there. Turnover, and we'll go back to Brighton. And a double dribble, Devashere up top. Turnover, and we'll go back to Hunter. Lopez hands back Meidlinger. Pulls for 3, and that'll be well short. Rebound taken by Messina. Messina on the push. Give it up to Brock Miller. And we got a turnover, and we'll go back to the Wolverines. Down the floor with Olsen Williams. Give it up to Lopez. Out top, Meidlinger, or pardon me, Harem, and Harem pulls and hits a long range 2. And it's now 9-6 in favor of Brighton. Back down the floor with the Bengals. Here's Fehoko. Inside Messina, and Messina lays it up and in.
52, Messina.
First points of the game for Osa. Here's Meidlinger. High post to Harem. Now up top with Tonyai. Drive the base, reverse it up, crawls off. Rebound grabbed by Miller. Miller on the push, has numbers. Give it up to Vacheray. Jumping along the baseline, off the mark. Rebound grabbed by Meidlinger. Ahead now to Tonyai. Up top, Meidlinger. Put on the deck. Leave it along the baseline to Lopez. Send out Williams for three. Couldn't get to go. Meidlinger keeps it alive. Couldn't get the putback. And now a rebound to Harem. And we'll reset the offense with the with the Wolverines. Crossover. And Tonyai left out well short. Out of bounds. Off of Brighton. Thought that was off of Olsen Williams. But we'll stay here. Williams inbounds to Harem. And the shot off the mark. Then we'll go back down the floor with Brighton. Hunter and Brighton looking like they're getting a little bit of dead legs here to get started. Not a lot of flow to this game. A lot of shots being left short. Back down the floor we go with Miller and the Bengals. Working around here near side. Drop it inside to Gramillion. Gramillion can't get it to go. Tipped out and out of bounds off of Messina. We'll go back down the floor. Seconds remaining outside, and now we got a foul on Carter Matheson.
Carter Matheson, his first team foul.
Three on the way. Meidlinger off the mark. Rebound taken by Devashere. Down the floor with Miller. 35 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. A 5-point lead for the Bengals. 30 seconds now remaining. Coach Gardner wants the last shot. Devashere still holding with 20 seconds. Tonyai comes out to pressure him. Here's Miller, guarded by Williams. Trap comes from Tonyai. Gets it over to Devashere. Up top, Matheson, now to Fehoko. Fehoko sent out to Devashere. 8 seconds. 7 seconds off the glass and a charge. Second team foul on the Bengals.
Number 14, Derek
Bickmore and Robbie Smith come off the bench to come in for the Bengals. Don't want to get any cheap fouls on Brock Miller and Gramillion.
Smith and number 50, McKay Bickmore.
Olsen Williams, full court pass picked off by Devashere. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. Fehoko send out. Bickmore at the buzzer. Off the mark, and that'll do it for the first quarter. At the end of one, it's Brighton 11, Hunter 6, heading to the second quarter. You are watching High School Rewind's coverage of the 2015 5A Boys State Championship Basketball Tournament, live on live.ksl.com and DeseretNews.com, and anytime on Xfinity On Demand. Harem at the junction, put on the floor, and hits the deck, traveling violation, and will go the other way with Brighton. Game choppy to get started. Both teams have a little bit of trouble here. Up the floor with Miller. Gramillion tried to go backdoor, slapped away by Tongyai. Picked up by Fehoko, leaves along the baseline. Thought Messina would be there, and he wasn't. Turnover, and we'll go back to Hunter. Outside, Tongyai. Harem for three, leaves it short. Rebound grabbed by Gramillion. Send ahead to Gramillion. Gramillion laid up and one.
Basket by John Gramillion.
Probably was a pass from Devashere.
Number 1, Olsen Williams, his second.
And Gramillion with the +1.
13 foul at the line. John Gramillion.
And Gramillion leaves the and one on the front of the rim. Messina with the board. Tries to go cross court, picked off. Harem with the steal, now head Meidlinger. He'll give off Olsen Williams and set up the offense for the Wolverines. Messina nearly had the steal and will stay here.
And for Hunter, number 33, Joe Orton. And number 40, Gabe Lopez.
Harem and Rollins take a seat. On the floor now, Joe Arnold and Lopez. Tongyai, gets that one to go. That's a tough angle. And Noah Tongyai now with 6 points. In the corner, Devashere. Devashere drop it in Gramillion. And a nice give and go. Laid up and in.
Derek Devashere.
Devashere now with 6 points. Here's Tongyai. Hunter trailing by 7. Brighton 15, Hunter 8. 6:15 remaining in the half. Deep three from Tongyai. Off the mark, rebound to Lopez. Gets it back up top. We've got a foul before that. That'll be the third team foul on the Bengals.
Foul on number 14, Derek Devashere, his second. Third Brighton team foul. In for Brighton, number 13, Carter Matheson.
Matheson comes on the floor as Devashere going to get a breather. Williams gets it in Meidlinger. Up top with Arnold. Now Tongyai. And he'll hand off to Olsen Williams. Kick out Tongyai. Along the baseline, the jumper up and good. 8 points for Noah Tongyai. Down the floor with Miller. Miller down the lane, hard to the hole. Gets the foul on Falatea. It'll put Brock Miller at the line to shoot 2.
Foul on number 30, Lorenzo Falatea, his second, fourth team foul.
Miller hits the first free throw. And lips out the second. Down the floor with Williams. Give it up to Arnold on the angle. Up top, Williams, back to Arnold. Olsen Williams to reset the offense. 14 fouls apiece, and the possession arrow belongs to Hunter with 5:20 remaining here in the opening half. Low-scoring affair between Brighton and Hunter. Arnold will pull for three, and Arnold from downtown. Joe Arnold with his first points. It's a 4-point game. Here's Carter Matheson. Drop it in, Fehoko, give and go to, or give to cutting Brock Miller, and he's fouled by Arnold. And it'll be Brock Miller going back to the line to shoot two. Miller hits his free throws. Down the floor we go. 5-point lead for the Bengals. 4:40 remaining in the half. 18-13 the lead for Brighton. Here Tongyai off the screen of Meidlinger. Pirouette is laid down the lane, laid up and in. The only person that probably can stop Tongyai on the Bengals would be Fehoko. We also don't want to give Fehoko a bunch of fouls, what he does on the offensive end. They're cleaning up boards and just being an athlete. Down the lane, Messina, left hand, it crawls off. Rebound taken by Meidlinger. On the push now with Tongyai. He'll send off Williams, and here comes Fehoko. Two outstanding football players in the state of Utah. Fehoko, just a junior, will be back when we one of the prize prospects in the state. Three on the way, and Tongyai buries the triple. Timeout, Coach Garner, and we're tied at 18. 3:51 remaining, full timeout. We'll take it with them. Brighton 18, Hunter 18. It's all Tongyai here in the second. Start of the second quarter, all tied up at 18. Brighton had a comfortable lead in that first quarter. Lob it up to Gramillion. Got it, came down, but couldn't finish. And fouled Taya with the board. On the run now with Rollins. He'll hand back to Noah Tongyai. Took over at the end of the quarter. Nice crossover. Shot a little bit out of control, gets his own board and puts it back up and in. Quickly down the floor. Tongyai just showing he's the best athlete on the floor. Brock Miller pulls for three, and Brock Miller knocks down the long-range shot. 9 points now for Miller here in the first half, and Brighton reclaims the lead 21-20. Rollins reverses out. Hands off to Tongyai. Drop it inside. Fauatea working on Gramillion. Blocked by Gramillion, and the loose ball claimed by Devashere. He loses the handle. And that's off of Fauatea. And we'll go down the floor with the Bengals. 2:37 remaining in the first half. Brighton with a 1-point lead. Devashere hands back Fehoko, now Messina. Here's Miller. Pull up Jay, back rim, rebound Devashere. Tip back to Gramillion, he'll jump it from the free throw line. Off the mark, and we're gonna have a foul on the board now against Lorenzo Fautea, and that'd be number 3 on the sophomore.
Foul number 30, Lorenzo Fautea, his third, 6th Hunter team foul.
Fautea will stay in with 3 fouls. A little surprised by this. Inbound Gramillion. Jackknife it up, couldn't get it to go. Rebound taken by Tongai, quickly ahead to Arnold. Arnold to the rack, off the window, and one. Took the bump from Devashere. Finishes it. He'll go to the line looking for the 3-point play.
Number 14, Derek Devashere, his third, 4th team foul on Brighton. At the line, Joe Arnold.
Official's going to have a chat. Still not sure what the holdup is. So back to action, the +1 free throw from Arnold. Six points for Arnold. Down the floor with Brock Miller. Guarded by Rollins. High post, Gramillion gets it back to Brock Miller. Miller working along the baseline. Can't get it to go, tipped up by Gramillion. Miller gets it back, couldn't get it. Gets his own board, goes back up, and it crawls out. Brock Miller go to the line to shoot 2.
Foul on number 33, Joe Arnold with Hunter. His second, 7th team foul. Foul in the act of shooting, number 3, Brock Miller shoots 2 shots.
And Miller hits the first.
Bengals substitution, number 50, McKay Bickmore.
Miller got the first and the second. Tied up at 23, 1:55 remaining in the first half. Winner of this game will move on to play the semifinals against the winner of Pleasant Grove and Davis. And that should be a fun game. Down with Rollins. Tongai step back, Jay. And Noah Tongai having an outstanding first half. He's got 17 points. Down the middle of the lane, Miller foul. They'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Foul on number 2, McKay Meidlinger, his first, 8th team foul. At the line, number 3, Brock Miller.
And Miller back rims the first. His 9th free throw of the first half. And 6 of 9. 1:25 on a rolling clock in the first half. A 1-point lead to the Wolverines. Here's Tongai working on 17 points here in the first half. Harem down the lane, fouled from behind by Gramillion. It'll be 2 free throws for Harem.
Foul on number 32. John Gramillion, his first, 5th team foul. At the line, number 5, Jake Aaron.
Left that a little short. Harem will have another. And leaves that one short as well. Miller ahead to Bickmore. Tracks it down. Bickmore, hard to the hole, give it up to Gramillion. Slapped away by Arnold. Arnold tries to send it ahead. And we'll reset with the Bengals. 57 seconds remaining. Miller pulls for three, and Brock Miller from downtown. And it's a 2-point Brighton lead with 50 seconds remaining. Miller going to guard Togiai. Trap comes from Gramillion. He just hedges and releases back to Harem. Hunter looking to roll this thing down. 35 seconds remaining. Messina comes to force some action. Drop it inside, and Meidlinger had crawled away, had snuck from the backside, and gets a wide open layup. His first points of the half. Tied at 27, 15 seconds remaining. McKay Bickmore straight away. That ball's nearly stolen by Harem. Fehoko hands off Miller. 5 seconds remaining. 4 seconds. 3, 2, Miller pull up and off the mark. At the end of 2 quarters, it's Hunter 27, Brighton 27, heading to the locker rooms. You're watching High School Rewind's coverage of the 2015 5A Boys State Championship Basketball Tournament live on live.ksl.com, DeseretNews.com, and anytime on Xfinity On Demand. All tied up at 27 after that spectacular first half from Noah Tongiai. Brock Miller inside out to Vacheray. Along the baseline. Now inside Gramillion. Gramillion will put it up and score. Somewhat quiet first half for Gramillion. Had 5 points, now with 7. 29-27 a lead to the Bengals. Olsen Williams outside to Tongiai. Fautea, now to Lopez. Meidlinger in the corner. Kick up top, Noah Tongiai. Now Fautea, young sophomore going to work. Off the glass, no. Chase after his own board, loose ball to Simi Fehoko. Massive bodies at midcourt. And Vacheray blocked by Tongiai in the hands of Brock Miller, and his easiest 2 points of the game. Brock Miller having himself quite the game. Tongiai fouled on the drive. First team foul in the second half.
Foul charge to number 3, Brock Miller, his first team foul.
Brock Miller and Tongiai both with 17 points apiece. Cross court, Meidlinger. Up top, Williams back to Tongiai. Drives the base on Miller. That'll be the second foul on Brock Miller and a second team foul on Brighton.
Foul on number 3, Brock Miller, his second team foul.
Olsen Williams triggers in to Tongiai. 4-point lead to Brighton. Now Williams. Olsen Williams, a pass first point guard, more of an athlete. Doesn't look to score that often. Lopez out top to Tongiai. Tongiai drives the lane, try to give that up to Fautea, and turnover will go the other way, Brighton. Down the floor, Brock Miller. Messina, fall away. Jay rolls off and a rebound taken. Fautea, handoff now to Olsen Williams. Hunter on the push. Williams down the lane, off the glass and in. I see Anson Williams do that more. Such a good athlete. He and Julian Blackman. That'd be a fun matchup of point guards. We got a foul down low. Meidlinger puts his hand in the air because they're going to get this on Fautea, and that's number 4 on the sophomore. They'll bring Harem off the bench. Fautea will give way after this first free throw. And Vermillion hits the first.
In for the Wolverines, number 5, Jake Harrow.
First free throw good from Vermillion. And the second rolls in as well. 5.5 remaining in the third, a 4-point lead to the Bengals. Williams outside to Harem. Up top now Meidlinger. Near side, Tongai leaves that one short. Rebound to Vacheray. To Messina. Here's Fehoko, drop it inside Vermillion, working on Meidlinger. Meidlinger spins base. Pardon me, Vermillion spins base out. And now here comes Tongai. Oh, spin move, off the window, no. And a rebound in the hands of Meidlinger, and then Tongai puts it up and in. Here's Vermillion. Messina drop it in. Brock Miller rolls in.
Brock Miller.
19 points now for Brock. Tongai into Harem. Now Meidlinger on the angle with Olsen Williams. Back up top to Tongai. Near side, Williams, now Lopez. He will pull for 3 off the mark. Williams tries to save it in. He and Meidlinger both got a hand on it, and we will go the other way. Three on the way from Miller, and Brock Miller now with 22 points. Top out in the open as he goes, Brighton goes. Has over half the points. Cross to Williams, in the corner to Harem. Here's Tongai. Off the screen of Meidlinger. Harem will pull for 3, and Harem from downtown. Timeout, Hunter.
Timeout, Hunter.
3:21 remaining in the third quarter. Full timeout to the Wolverines. Brighton leads 38-34. We'll take it with them. You're watching High School Rewind's coverage of the 2015 5A Boys State Championship Basketball Tournament live on live.ksl.com and deseretnews.com and anytime on Xfinity On Demand. Full court pressure on from Hunter. Here's Devashere. Now Messina. 3:10 on the rolling clock in the third quarter and a 4-point lead to the Bengals. Messina into the corner. Miller for 3. Brock Miller is on fire. He's got 25 points. Tongyai kicks up top, Williams. Now Tongyai. Some of the same situation in that first round game. Tongyai very aggressive in the first half. More of what needs to be done now with a 7-point deficit for Hunter. Especially if Miller's going to keep lighting it up. Tongyai is going to have to answer and lead the way for the Wolverines. Tongyai drop it inside Meidlinger. Leaves it out Williams. Now back to Tongyai. Off the screen of Harem. Noel working on Brock. Send out to Williams and gets it back. Tongyai floated up inside the lane, crawls out. Meidlinger couldn't hang on to the board. Gramillion pulls it down, and now up the floor, Devashere. Devashere is up all slapped away by Meidlinger. And will go the other way. Same one off at Devashere's leg. It'll be Hunter ball. Back down the floor with the Hunter Wolverines. Outside, 3 on the way, and is short from Rollins. Back down the floor with Miller and the Bengals. Miller into the corner, 3 on the way, and buried. Carter Matheson from downtown. And it's a 10-point lead to the Bengals. Tongyai on the drive and is fouled. That'll be the 13th foul on the Bengals. And that foul goes on McIntyre, and they're going to give him 2 shots.
Third team foul. At the line for Hunter, number 4, Noah Tongyai.
And the first free throw off the mark. And the second good from Tongyai. Miller now with 1:05 remaining. Widens out. Messina drives the lane, left hand up, no. Gramillion with the board, goes back up with it and scores.
32, John Gramillion.
John Gramillion does all the little things for Brighton. And now we got a timeout taken by Hunter. 49 seconds remaining in the third quarter. 30-second timeout for the Wolverines. Gives us time to remind you to follow us on Twitter at HS Rewind. We'll be tweeting out the top 5 plays from today's coverage. You can see the first round and second round top 5 plays. And we'll have the top 5 from today's 4 games. We'll also have the rest of the games this week. We have 4 tomorrow with the quarterfinals and 4A, and then semifinal Friday, and then championship Saturday. You're watching High School Rewind's broadcast of the 2015 5A quarterfinals. We've teamed up with live.ksl.com and desertnews.com. You can find us regularly anytime on Xfinity On Demand. I hope you're enjoying the coverage. Tongyai inbounds to Rollins. Now Meidlinger try to lob it up, and Miller knew what play was coming. They're going to try to lob that to Tongyai. He must be watching our top 5 plays, because that was a play in the first in our top 5 plays from Monday, lob to Tongyai. Drop along the baseline. Fall away Jay off the mark, and rebound taken by Gramillion. Hand back to Fehoko inside of 20 seconds. Down to 15. That ball stolen by Tongyai. You see a little showtime? Yes, we will. Goes up and flushes with two hands. 10 seconds remaining. Fehoko give it up to Brock Miller. 5 seconds. Miller pulls for three. And that's off the mark. Rebound. And, oh, we're going to have a foul. I thought that was a clean block from Harum. But it'll be free throws for Matheson.
At the line, number 13, Carter Matheson.
And Matheson got that done the hard way. Goes in and out, off the backboard and in. Bickmore comes on along with Smith. First free throw good for Matheson. And the second one rolls out. Tongyai will count if it goes. Off the side of the backboard. And at the end of three, it's Brighton 47, Hunter 37. We're heading to the fourth and final frame of this 5A quarterfinal.
No matter what your favorite activity, reaching for a replenishing ice-cold glass of chocolate milk. It's a great flavor packed with 9 essential nutrients to keep you going strong all day long. Cars, pickups, SUVs, motorhomes. If it takes its higher, Les Schwab's got it. The West's largest selection in stock at Les Schwab. They want to earn your business. Check out the Deseret News for the best place to read about prep sports online at desnews.com. Deseret News, now you know. Watch a replay of today's game for free online at live.ksl.com. Visit maxpreps.com for stats, schedules, rosters, and more. Max Preps, America's source for high school sports. RPT has been providing physical therapy services for all orthopedic conditions, post-operative care, sports, auto, and industrial injuries.
Start of the fourth quarter, double-digit deficit for Hunter. Brighton with a strong third quarter, powered by Brock Miller. 3 off the mark from Harum. Messina quickly ahead to Gramillion. Oh, nice find inside to Vacheray, lays it up and in. And it's now a 12-point deficit with 7.5 remaining in the fourth. Rollins can't get that to go. Tried to leak that one out. Tongyai tried to save it and couldn't. Olsen Williams will come back in for Hunter. Miller gets that into Vacheray. Simi Fehoko off the screen of Messina. Gramillion, Vacheray inside of Messina. The mismatch on Olsen Williams, jumps it up, no. Gramillion with the board off the glass, can't get it to go. Williams knocks it out of bounds and will stay here with Brighton. Miller lob in to Fehoko. Fehoko. Lob into Miller, and Miller fouled That'll be the 13th foul on Hunter. It goes on Rollins. Falatea comes back in the game for the Wolverines. Arnold will go to the bench.
Number 30, Lorenzo Falatea.
Lob into Miller. We got a foul on the inbound. And the foul is on to Vacheray.
14, Derek Vacheray, his fourth team foul. And for the Bengals, number 13, Carter Matheson.
Down the floor now with Tongyai. Pulls for three. And Tongyai from downtown. 25 points for Noah. Simi Fehoko holding up top. Try to lob it up and dude Gramillion, and Gramillion throws it down. Beautiful feed from Messina, and Gramillion with the alley-oop. Tongyai inside Falatea. Big fella leaves it short, tipped up by Tongyai, couldn't get to go, gets his own board. And still can't get the point-blank range. Tipped out, and now on the run with Osa Messina. Meidlinger giving chase. Osa lays it up and in. Quickly down the floor now with Meidlinger. 13-point lead for Brighton. Three on the way, no. And the rebound grab by Gramillion. Brock Miller hits the deck, and timeout taken by Brighton. Coach Gardner wants a full timeout. We'll take it with him. 5:21 remaining in the fourth quarter. Brighton 53, Hunter 40. Out of the timeout, Fehoko inbounds to Brock Miller. Cross court to Bickmore. Bickmore has that one picked by Williams. We'll have a foul on Bickmore. And that will be the 15th foul on Brighton.
Foul number 50, McKay Bickmore, his first 15th foul. Returning for
Bickmore will come off as
Carter Matheson.
Matheson comes back on. You get that big three in the third quarter. Up the floor with Noah Tongyai. Tongyai down the lane to the rim and finishes. If they're going to come back, it's going to have to be almost a carbon copy of what happened on Monday, and that is Tongyai taking it to the hole and then speeding up Brighton as Coach Garner's going to try to eat up clock with a, don't want to call it stall offense, a very methodical offense. Miller down the lane, try to get that ball inside, slapped away. Now on the push with Meidlinger. Meidlinger to the hole, float up and score it. 9-point game, 53-44. 4.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. And Coach Gardner wanted him to work it around. In the corner. Osa tied up, and the possession arrow belongs to Brighton. Inbound, that ball stolen by Falatea. Ahead to Rollins. Rollins gives it up to Arnold. Arnold swatted away by Simi Fehoko. What a block by Fehoko. Arnold too strong. Meidlinger with the putback. It crawls out. Falatea goes up and puts it in. Lorenzo Falatea's first points. He has been saddled with foul trouble the entire game. Has 4 fouls, all before the fourth quarter. Brock Miller holding up top. Miller will float it up and gets a foul call. And it'll be 2 free throws for Brock Miller.
Number 3, Nate Rollins, his second. 4th team foul. At the line, number 3, Brock Miller. In for Hunter, number 1, Olsen Williams.
Miller hit the first and rattles out the second. Quickly down the floor. Tongiai. Trap comes, gets along to Olsen Williams with the flyby, and Williams lays it up and in.
Olsen Williams assisted by Noah Tongiai.
You watch Hunter do this, and you think to yourselves that you're surprised he's in their normal offense. They have so many athletes. Williams and Tongiai are as athletic or more athletic than anybody they're going to face. They would challenge the Blackmans. Oh, nice backdoor cut by Miller. Blocked away by Tongiai. On the push now with Williams. Williams leaves it to Arnold. Tongiai. Oh, nice pass to Meidlinger. He can't finish it. Loose ball out to Messina. Fehoko inside. Gramillion, and Gramillion can't get that to go on a late whistle. Late whistle. The rebound was collected. Probably the right call, but it was the right call when it happened too. But Gramillion will go to the line to shoot 2. And Gramillion knocks down the first. Knocked down the first and the second. 8-point lead for the Bengals. Up the floor with Williams. Williams jumps it up and it rattles out. A rebound claimed by Gramillion. That Coach Garner, tell him to work it around. Wants him to take the clock. 2:40 remaining. Outside to Messina. Messina give it up to Vacheray. Hunter's going to have to come out and pressure him. Brock Miller will stand there for the remaining 2.5 minutes. Fehoko kicks up top to Messina. Gramillion jumps it along the baseline off the mark and rebound grabbed by Olsen Williams. Surprised to see that shot. Here comes Tongiai. Inside out to Williams. Now Meidlinger gives it back to Williams. High post to Harum. He sends out 3 on the way from Arnold. And Arnold knocks down his second 3. Timeout Hunter. 2:04 remaining in the fourth quarter. Brighton 56, Hunter 51. And it is a full timeout taken by the Wolverines. And we'll take it with them. But first, I want to remind you to follow us on Twitter at HS Rewind. We'll be tweeting out the top 5 plays from today's coverage. Got a lot to choose from. Got another game on tap still. But again, at HS Rewind, we'll be tweeting out our top 5 plays later this evening. Out of the timeout, full court pressure from Olsen Williams on Brock Miller. Have to be careful and not pick up fouls. Williams has 2, 5 team fouls for Hunter. Brock Miller going to drive down the lane, got around Meidlinger. Meidlinger stood there and he went right around him. 7-point game. Brighton 58, Hunter 51, 1:45 remaining in the fourth quarter. Tongyai reverses out. Brock Miller with him. Crossover, send out Williams for 3. Off the back of the iron, a rebound taken by Arnold. Harem will pull for 3, and Harem buries it. 4-point game, 58-54, 1:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. Gonna have to come out and get him. He's gonna stay out there. Olsen Williams has to pressure him. Outside with Simi Fehoko, and they'll have back to Brock Miller. Miller, nearly backcourt there, and there'll be timeout taken by Coach Garner. 1 minute remaining in the fourth quarter. And it will be a full timeout. Again, we'll take it with them. 1 minute remaining. Brighton 58, Hunter 54. One minute remaining, and Miller draws a foul by Rollins on the inbound.
Foul on number 3, Nate Rollins.
16th foul on Hunter.
16th foul.
And again, having a little conversation. Inbound to Messina. With Messina to Brock Miller. Rollins and Meidlinger come up. Miller drives down the sideline, kicks out to Fehoko. Now Messina. And the great game of keep away begins, and he's trapped along the midcourt stripe. And a foul on Hunter. I'm not sure where the foul was on that. They knew he was coming to trap, and Brock Miller going to shoot one-on-one free throws.
Number 3, Brock Miller.
Miller at the line for one-on-one. And hits the first. Miller got the first and has another. 5-point lead for the Bengals. And rattles home the second. Remember, the winner of this game will play the winner of Davis and PG. Here's Tongyai pulling for 3 off the mark. And rebound taken by Fehoko. And the Brighton Bengals driving their way to the semifinals. Lay it up and in and one. Simi Fehoko putting the proverbial nail in the coffin. And he'll go to the line for the 3-point play.
His first. 8th team foul at the line. Fehoko.
Fehoko hits the +1. 9-point game. Up the floor now, Tongiai. That's a tough call on Brock Miller. That's number 6 on the Bengals.
Foul on number 3, Brock Miller, his third, 6th team foul.
Williams will trigger in. Here's Olsen Williams. Across to Harem. They got to get going. Harem pulls for a deep, deep three. Meidlinger with the board. He retreats to the three-point line. He leaves that one short. That's off of Devashere and will stay here. 17 and a half remaining. And Hunter took the timeout. That'll be a full timeout.
Full timeout.
I want to remind you, the conclusion of this game, we'll select our Nudge player of the game. With over 500 employees, Nudge, one of the fastest growing companies in Utah Valley. To learn more about Nudge and their community outreach programs, go to www.nudge.com. Again, I want to remind you to follow us at HS Rewind. We'll be tweeting out the top 5 plays from today's coverage. You can go through our Twitter feed and find the top 5 plays from Monday and Tuesday. And we have quite a few to select from. I don't know if any of them will be bigger than Richmond's 3 for Viewmont, knocking out Lone Peak in the second game today. We're on game 3 of 4, those of you joining us on the stream. Our next game will be Davis and Pleasant Grove, featuring Jesse Wade, the Gonzaga commit. Looking into the semifinals, we expect a pretty good Davis contingency here tonight, being so close. And right now, it looks like Brighton will move on to the semifinals, and the winner of that game will take on the Bengals and also get a chance to watch Pleasant Grove's Riley Court, who's committed to play for Coach Randy Ray and the Wildcats, get himself familiar with the D Event Center. Olsen Williams will trigger in. Lobs into Meidlinger, and Meidlinger gets a +1.
Foul on number 52, Osa Messina.
The foul goes on Messina.
Basket by number 2, McKay Meidlinger.
And Meidlinger
Now at the line to shoot one shot.
can get Hunter within 6. Meidlinger's free throw back rimmed, and Fehoko comes away with the loose ball. And a foul on Olsen Williams, made his 3rd, and Simi Fehoko will go to the line to shoot 2.
Foul on number 1, Olsen Williams, his 3rd. At the line, shooting 1-and-1, number 1, Simi Fehoko.
Fehoko at the line and hits the first. First free throws of the game for Fehoko. And gets the second as well. Up the floor with Tongiai with 12 seconds remaining. Harem will drive the baseline, can't get it to go. Tongiai saves it into Arnold. And Arnold's 3 is off the mark. Miller with the board. And the Brighton Bengals will move on to the semifinals with a 65-56 win over Hunter. A nice win for Brighton, and for Hunter, a promising season comes to a close, as well does the prep basketball career of Noah Tongiai, young man heading on to Oregon State to play football and basketball. And no, he'll represent the state of Utah very, very well. And Brock Miller and the Bengals will move on to the semis. They'll get the winner of Davis and Pleasant Grove. Congratulations to Coach Gardner and the Bengals are moving on to the semis. Again, our final score, Brighton 65, Hunter 56. Stay tuned for our post-game wrap-up and our Nudge Player of the Game selection.
Congratulations to both teams.
Yep. And welcome back into the D Event Center. Again, our final score, the Brighton Bengals 65, the Hunter Wolverines 56. And a nice win for Brighton, led by their star player, Brock Miller, a young man heading to Utah State, had an outstanding game, 30 points on the day, and he is our nudge player of the game. He powered Brighton from the very beginning of this game. We talked about in the open, as he goes, the Bengals go, and as he got his offense going, lighting it up from outside and found his way to the free throw line, things really settled in for the Bengals, as it was a big first half from Noah Tongai, who finishes with 27 points, but he just didn't quite have the same thing going in the second half as he did in the first half, and Brock Miller got better in the second half and made the big shots and the big plays down the stretch and was solid for Coach Gardner and the Bengals. They will move on to play the winner of Davis and Pleasant Grove. And just take a moment talking about Hunter, what a great year it was. Tony, I thought he finished his season, hurt his leg, thought it was over in December, but able to come back and put up such a terrific season his senior year, and he'll go on to play football for Coach Gary Anderson and the Beavers, and also play basketball up at Oregon State as well. So we wish him the best of luck moving forward. Again, our final score, the Brighton Bengals 65, the Hunter Wolverines 56, and they move on to the semifinals. We also want to give a shout out to our player of the game sponsor, Nudge. With over 500 employees, Nudge is one of the fastest growing companies in Utah Valley. To learn more about Nudge and their community outreach programs, go to www.nudge.com. Again, our final score, Brighton 65, Hunter 56. For Vince Francis and Thompson Coles, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and watching High School Rewind's coverage of the 2015 5A Boys State Championship Basketball Tournament, live on live.klsl.com and DeseretNews.com, and anytime on Xfinity On Demand.